I never thought a phone call at 2:47 a.m. would change my entire life. But then again, I never thought I'd be the kind of man who cries in public either. And here we are. My name is Vincent Reaper Castellano, and I'm 58 years old. I've been riding with the Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club out of Sacramento for 34 years. The nickname came from my time as a combat medic in Desert Storm. I had a reputation for bringing guys back from the edge when everyone else had given up on them. The Reaper who refuses to reap. They'd joke. The name stuck. I've seen horror. Real horror. The kind that wakes you up at 3 a.m. drenched in sweat, reaching for a weapon that isn't there. I've held dying men in my arms and promised them lies about how they'd be okay. I've buried 14 brothers from my club cancer, accidents. One murdered by his own son during a meth-fueled psychosis. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for the voice on the other end of that phone call. Is this Vincent Castellano? The woman's voice was shaking. Who's asking? I was already sitting up, my wife Maria stirring beside me. My name is Dr. Patricia Chen. I'm a pediatric oncologist at UC Davis Children's Hospital. I'm calling because I don't know what else to do. She was crying. A doctor. Crying to a stranger at 3 a.m. Slow down, doc. Tell me what's happening. There's a 9-year-old girl here named Sophia Morales. She's been in our oncology ward for 3 months. She has osteosarcoma bone cancer. It's stage 4. We've done everything we can, but it's spread to her lungs and brain. She has maybe 2 weeks left. I felt ice in my veins. Doc, I'm real sorry about that. But why are you calling me? Dr. Chen's voice cracked completely. Because she's alone, Mr. Castellano. Completely alone. Her mother dropped her off here 12 weeks ago, signed the paperwork, and disappeared. Just vanished. We've tried to track her down, nothing. Child Protective Services got involved. Her father is unknown. No other relatives. No one. Jesus Christ, I whispered. She's been here for 93 days, Mr. Castellano. 93 days. Do you know how many visitors she's had? 0. Not one person. She watches the other kids get balloons and teddy bears and family members crowding their rooms, and she just sits there with this toy motorcycle she carries everywhere. Why a motorcycle? I asked, though I already had a feeling. She says it was the only thing her mother left behind. It was on her keychain. Sophia grabbed it before her mother walked out. She sleeps with it, talks to it. She told me yesterday that when she dies, she wants to be buried with it, because at least motorcycles don't leave you. I had to put my hand over my mouth to keep from making a sound. Maria was fully awake now, watching me with concern. Mr. Castellano, I found your club online. I saw the charity work you do, the toy drives, the fundraisers. I saw a video of your group visiting children at a hospital in Fresno. I know this is crazy. I know you don't know this child. But, Doctor, Chen was sobbing now. She asked me today if anyone would come to her funeral. She's 9 years old, and she's planning her own funeral, because she knows nobody will show up. I can't let her die thinking nobody cares. I just can't. Give me the address, I said. We'll be there by 9 a.m. I hung up and looked at Maria. She was already nodding, tears streaming down her face. She'd heard enough. I made 3 calls. First, to Raymond Preach. Williams, my VP. A former Baptist minister who'd traded his pulpit for a Harley 20 years ago when his church kicked him out for supporting his gay son. Then to Carlos Ghost Mendoza, our sergeant at arms, built like a freight train, covered in prison tattoos, with the gentlest soul you'd ever meet. Finally to Anthony Doc, Parisi Road Captain, former paramedic, the guy who'd saved my life twice. I didn't explain much. Just said, 9-year-old girl dying alone at UC Davis Children's. Hospital room, 418. We're going at 9 a.m. You coming? 3 responses in under 30 seconds. I'm there. Count me in. Already getting dressed. That's brotherhood. That's what the patches on our backs really mean. Not the Hollywood bullshit about violence and drugs. It means when someone needs you, you show up. No questions asked. We arrived at UC Davis Children's Hospital at 8:47 a.m. 4 massive bikers in full leather cuts, chains, boots, tattoos covering our arms and necks. The security guard in the lobby actually put his hand on his radio when he saw us. "We're here to see Dr. Patricia Chen," Preach said in his smooth, calm voice. "She's expecting us." The guard hesitated, then made a call. 2 minutes later, Dr. Chen appeared. She was tiny, maybe 5'2", with dark circles under her eyes that told me she hadn't slept. She looked at the 4 of us, and something in her face just broke. She started crying, right there in the lobby. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for coming. I wasn't sure if you would. We said we'd be here," Ghost rumbled. "We're here." Dr. Chen led us through the hospital. As we walked, people stared. Parents pulled their children closer. Nurses whispered. I heard one mother say, "What are they doing here?" with enough disgust in her voice to make it clear what she thought of us. Doc leaned over to me. "Think we're scaring people?" "We're always scaring people," I muttered back. "Let 'em be scared." We stopped outside room 418. Through the small window, I could see a hospital bed with the smallest lump of blankets I'd ever seen. Medical equipment everywhere. Monitors beeping. The mechanical hiss of an oxygen concentrator. Dr. Chen put her hand on the door. "I need to prepare you. Sophia is. The cancer has taken a lot from her. She weighs 42 pounds. She's lost all her hair. She's on heavy pain medication, so she might seem confused or distant. And she's..." "Doctor." Chen wiped her eyes. "She's been disappointed before. I told her some special visitors were coming today. She told me I was lying. That nobody special would ever want to visit her. Let's prove her wrong," Preach said softly. Dr. Chen knocked gently. "Sophia? Honey, I have those visitors I mentioned. Can we come in?" A voice so small I barely heard it. "I knew you were lying." "I'm not lying, sweetheart. They're really here. 4 of them. Go away. I don't want fake visitors." Dr. Chen looked at us helplessly. I stepped forward and spoke through the door. "Sophia, my name is Reaper. I ride a 2019 Harley-Davidson Road King. Black and chrome. Ape hanger handlebars. Custom exhaust that sounds like thunder. I'm wearing a leather vest with a wolf patch on the back, and I'm standing outside your door right now with 3 of my brothers, because a very smart doctor told us about the bravest girl she's ever met." Silence. Then, "That's your real name? Reaper?" "Oh, it's my road name. All bikers have road names. My real name is Vincent, but nobody's called me that in 30 years except my wife. When she's mad at me." I heard the tiniest sound that might have been a giggle. "Your wife gets mad at you? All the time. She says I leave my socks on the floor and eat the last cookie without asking. She's usually right. What are your friends' names?" The voice was closer now, like she'd moved toward the door. "Preach used to be a minister before he became a biker. Ghost got his name because he's so quiet you never hear him coming. And Doc is a former paramedic who can fix just about anything broken. Can he fix me?" The question was so small, so hopeful, it destroyed me. I looked at Doc. His eyes were wet. He stepped closer to the door. "I can't fix your body, pequeña princesa. But I can promise you something. You'll never spend another day alone. Not while we're around." The door cracked open, and I saw Sophia Morales for the first time. Dr. Chen wasn't exaggerating. Sophia was skeletal. Her scalp was covered with a purple beanie, decorated with little motorcycles. Probably something a nurse had bought her. Her face was gaunt, cheekbones sharp, eyes too large for her face. She had an IV pole beside her and oxygen tubes in her nose. She was drowning in a hospital gown with little bears on it, but her eyes... God, Her eyes were alive, fierce, defiant, desperately hopeful. She clutched a tiny plastic motorcycle in her left hand, white-knuckling it like it was the only real thing in her world. "You're really real," she whispered, staring at us. "Really real," Ghost confirmed. He lowered himself all 6'5", 300 pounds of him onto one knee. "That's a nice bike you got there, Mija." Sophia held up the toy motorcycle. It was cheap plastic, the kind you'd get from a grocery store vending machine. One wheel was broken. The paint was chipped, but she held it like it was made of gold. "It's all I have," she said simply. "My mom left it behind. She had it on her keychain. I grabbed it before she—" Sophia trailed off. "Before she left?" Preach finished gently. Sophia nodded, looking down. "The doctor says, I'm dying. The cancer is winning. That's why my mom left. Because I'm broken, and nobody wants broken things." The four of us exchanged looks. I could see the same rage, the same heartbreak, in their faces that I felt burning in my chest. I pulled up a chair and sat down so I was at her eye level. "Sophia, can I tell you something important? Something really, really important?" She nodded, still holding that motorcycle. "You are not broken. You are fighting the hardest battle anyone can fight. And the fact that you're still here, still talking, still hoping, that makes you a warrior. That makes you stronger than any of us will ever be." "But I'm dying," she said matter-of-factly. "That changes today," Doc said firmly. "Starting right now, you're not alone anymore." Sophia looked at each of us, suspicion and hope warring in her expression. "Because that's what bikers do," Ghost said. "Real bikers. We show up for people who need us. We protect people who can't protect themselves. We make sure nobody faces the dark alone." "Like superheroes?" Sophia asked. "Exactly like superheroes," Preach smiled. "Just with more leather and louder bikes." For the first time, Sophia smiled. It was tiny, tentative, but it was there. "Can I ask you something?" "Anything," I said. "Do you think?" She looked down at her toy motorcycle, her voice dropping to barely a whisper. "Do you think I could have a road name too? Like you guys? Even though I'm not really a biker?" My throat closed up. Preach wiped his eyes. Ghost looked away. Doc cleared his throat roughly. "Sophia," I managed. "What would you want your road name to be?" She thought for a long moment, clutching that broken plastic motorcycle. "Phoenix," she said. "Because phoenixes rise from ashes. Right? They come back even when everyone thinks they're dead. And maybe if I have a strong name like that, I won't be so scared of dying. Maybe I'll come back somehow too." I won need. I had to press my fist against my mouth to keep from sobbing out loud. "Phoenix," Preach said, his voice rough with emotion. "That's perfect. Sophia. Phoenix Morales. I can't think of a better road name." Sophia's smile grew wider. "Really? You're not just saying that?" "We never just say things," Ghost assured her. "When a biker gives you a road name, it's for real. It's forever. Forever," Sophia repeated softly, testing the word. Then she looked at me with those two old eyes. "But how can it be forever if I'm dying in 2 weeks?" And that's when I made a promise that would change everything. "Because we're going to make sure those 2 weeks are the best 2 weeks of your entire life," I said. "Starting right now." The next 2 weeks became a blur of leather, laughter, and love that none of us saw coming. We didn't just visit Sophia. We moved in. I'm not exaggerating. We literally set up camp in that hospital. The 4 of us worked out a rotation. 2 of us would be there during the day, 2 at night. We brought sleeping bags. Dr. Chen arranged for us to use an unused staff room. The nurses started bringing us coffee without asking, but it wasn't just the 4 of us for long. On day 3, I made a call to our club president, Miguel King Ortega, told him about Sophia, about her road name. About the promise we'd made. How many brothers can you bring? I asked. How many you need? King shot back. All of them. 24 hours later, the entire Iron Wolves MC, all 43 members showed up at UC Davis Children's Hospital. 43 bikers in full cuts, riding in formation, engines thundering like a stampede of mechanical beasts. The hospital parking lot looked like a motorcycle convention. Security had no idea what to do with us. Dr. Chen met us outside, her eyes wide. What? What is all this? This, King said, dismounting his bike, is a family reunion. Where's our sister? We couldn't all fit in Sophia's room at once, obviously, but we created a system. Every hour, 2 new brothers would rotate in. Each one brought something: a patch, a story, a gift, a promise. Marco, Tiny Rodriguez, 6'8", 350 pounds of pure muscle, brought Sophia a leather vest in her size, a real one, custom made, with Phoenix embroidered on the front and the Iron Wolves patch sewn on the back. When he put it on her tiny frame, Sophia started crying. This is mine? Really? Mine? Really yours? Tiny said, in his surprisingly soft voice. You're packed now, little wolf. That vest proves it. James Wrench Patterson, our master mechanic, brought blueprints. Actual engineering blueprints. Phoenix, when you beat this thing, I'm building you a custom motorcycle. Kid-sized for now, but we'll upgrade it as you grow. What color you want? Sophia's eyes went wide. When I beat this? But the doctors said. Doctors ain't God. Wrench interrupted. Miracles happen. And you're tougher than cancer. So what color? Purple, Sophia whispered. Purple with silver flames. Purple with silver flames it is. Wrench shook her tiny hand solemnly. I'll start working on it tomorrow. The gifts kept coming. Not expensive stuff. We're not rich guys. But meaningful things. Personal things. Leo Chains. Moreno brought his father's dog tags from Vietnam. My old man was the toughest Marine I ever knew. Survived 3 tours. These kept him safe. Now, they're yours. Sophia held those dog tags like they were made of starlight. I'll keep them safe. I promise. I promise. I know you will, Mija. David Buddha Tran, our oldest member at 72, brought prayer beads from 6 different religions. I'm covering all my bases, he said with a wink. Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Jewish, Muslim. And these blue ones are just for luck. Every morning, I pray for you with each one. Figure if I hit enough deities, one of them's gotta listen. Sophia giggled, actually giggled. That's a lot of praying. You're worth a lot of praying, Buddha said simply. But the most unexpected moment came from Marcus, Ice, Thompson, our enforcer. Ice was exactly what his road name suggested. Cold, hard, intimidating. Covered in scars. Missing 2 fingers from a bar fight in the 90s. The guy we sent when things got serious. Ice walked into Sophia's room on day 7, and we all tensed up. Ice didn't do feelings. Didn't do soft. He stood at the foot of Sophia's bed for a long moment, just staring at her. Sophia stared back. Not scared, just curious. Then Ice did something none of us had ever seen. He cried. This massive, terrifying man just broke down. Tears streaming down his scarred face, shoulders shaking. I'm sorry, he choked out. I'm so sorry. Why are you sorry? Sophia asked softly. Because I had a daughter once. Ice's voice was raw. She was 8. Cancer took her 20 years ago. And I wasn't there. I was in prison for assault. Couldn't be there when she needed me. Couldn't hold her hand. Couldn't tell her I loved her. She died without her daddy. The room went silent. I hadn't known this. None of us had. Ice looked at Sophia with devastated eyes. I can't get my little girl back. Can't fix what I broke. But I can be here for you. If you'll let me. Sophia was quiet for a moment. Then she reached out her tiny hand. What was her name? What? Isabella. Isabella? Marie Thompson. That's beautiful, Sophia whispered. I bet she knew you loved her. Even if you couldn't be there. I bet she knew. Ice took Sophia's hand, like it was made of glass. You think so? I know so. Because that's what daughters do. We know when our daddies love us, even when they can't show it. Sophia paused. My daddy's in jail too. For drugs. I don't remember him much. But I remember he used to call me his little firebird. That's why I picked Phoenix. So, maybe he knew too. Ice sat down heavily in the chair beside her bed. Can I read to you? Isabella loved when I read to her. Before everything went bad. Frody. Tenkanchi. I'd like that, Sophia said. For the next hour, Ice read to Sophia from a dog-eared copy of Where the Wild Things Are that he pulled from his vest. His voice was rough, stumbling over words. But Sophia listened like it was the most important story ever told. When he finished, Sophia was smiling. Will you come back tomorrow? And read more? Every single day, Ice promised. Every single day you're here. And he did. Every afternoon at 2 p.m., Ice would show up with a new book. The nurses started calling it story time, and other kids from the ward would wheel their IV poles over to listen. Ice, our scariest, hardest brother, became the hospital's favorite visitor. On day 9, something shifted. Dr. Chen came into Sophia's room while Ghost and I were there. She had that look doctors get when they're about to deliver bad news. Sophia, honey, I need to talk to you about something. Sophia set down the coloring book Preach had brought her. It's complicated. Dr. Chen sat on the edge of the bed. Your latest scans show the cancer is progressing faster than we anticipated. We think you have maybe 5 or 6 days left. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. 6 days. Not 2 weeks. 6 days. But Sophia just nodded calmly. Okay. Can I ask you something? Anything, sweetheart. When I die, can I be buried in my vest? The one the wolves gave me? Dr. Chen's eyes filled with tears. Of course you can. And can they carry my casket? My brother's? I don't want strangers doing it. 7. Yes, honey. I'll make sure of it. Okay. Sophia looked at Ghost and me. Then I'm ready. Ready for what, Pequeña? Ghost asked, his voice thick. Ready to make the most of 6 days. Sophia smiled, that heartbreaking, brave smile. We better get busy, huh? Final scene leaded. We better get busy. Final scene leaded. Final scene leaded crime. That's when we made a decision. The Iron Wolves MC called an emergency meeting right there in the hospital cafeteria. 43 bikers crammed around tables meant for families. King stood up. Brothers, we got 6 days to give Phoenix the best life possible. Ideas? The suggestions came fast. Motorcycle ride, we carry her on a bike. Let her feel the wind. Custom coffin, we build it ourselves. Paint it with wolves and phoenixes. Patch ceremony, make her a full member. Not just honorary. Video messages, we record every brother telling her why she matters. Sky lanterns, release them when she passes. Light up the whole damn sky. We did all of it. Day 10. We got special permission to take Sophia outside. Doc rigged up a secure seat on the back of King's bike. Oxygen tank and all. We rode her around the hospital parking lot at exactly 15 miles per hour, while 30 bikers rode formation around her, protecting our tiny Phoenix. Sophia's laughter, pure, joyful, free, was the most beautiful sound I'd ever heard. Faster, she shouted. Go faster. We couldn't go faster. She was too fragile. But King revved the engine, making it roar like thunder, and Sophia threw her arms up like she was flying. When we brought her back inside, she was exhausted but glowing. That was the best moment of my whole life, she whispered. Day 11, we held a formal patch ceremony. All 43 brothers in full dress, our best vests, cleanest jeans, polished boots. We formed a circle around Sophia's hospital bed. King stepped forward. Sophia, Phoenix Morales, you have shown more courage, strength, and heart than most people show in a lifetime. You've taught us what real bravery looks like. You've reminded us why we ride, and what brotherhood truly means. He pinned a full member patch, not honorary, but full member to her vest. By the power vested in me as president of the Iron Wolves Motorcycle Club, I declare you our sister, our pack, our family. From this day until the end of days, you are one of us. 43 voices rang out in unison. Once a wolf, always a wolf. Sophia was crying, smiling, glowing. I have a family, she whispered. I really have a family. You really do, I said, kneeling beside her. And we're not going anywhere. Day 13 arrived too fast. Sophia's breathing was labored. The morphine drip was constant. She slipped in and out of consciousness. Dr. Chen said it would be hours now, not days. We surrounded her bed, all of us. 43 bikers packed into that small room and spilling out into the hallway. The nurses didn't even try to enforce visitor limits. Ice was reading Charlotte's Web, his voice breaking on every page. Sophia's eyes would flutter open occasionally, finding us, making sure we were still there. Still here, Phoenix, Ghost would whisper. Still here. At 11 p.m., Sophia stirred. Her eyes opened, clearer than they'd been in days. She looked at each of us. Thank you, she whispered, for showing up, for choosing me, for being my family when nobody else would. We'd do it 1,000 times over, Preach said, tears streaming down his face. I'm not scared anymore. Sophia continued softly. I thought dying alone would be scary, but I'm not alone. I'm surrounded by wolves. I'm protected, always protected, King confirmed, in this life and the next. Sophia smiled. Will you tell people about me? When I'm gone? Will you tell them that I mattered? We'll tell everyone, I promised. We'll make sure the whole world knows about Sophia. Phoenix Morales, the bravest wolf who ever lived. Good. Sophia's breathing was getting shallower. Right here, baby girl. Tell Isabella I said hi. When you talk to her, tell her I met her daddy and he's good. He's real good. Ice was sobbing. I'll tell her. Phoenix. I promise. Sophia looked at me one last time. Reaper, can you do something for me? Anything. Start the engines. I want to hear thunder one more time. I looked at King. He nodded. We all filed out 43 bikers, moving as quietly as we could. We went to the parking lot, mounted our bikes, and waited for my signal. I raised my hand, dropped it. 43 motorcycles roared to life simultaneously. The sound was deafening, glorious, powerful. Thunder rolling across the night sky. Inside her hospital room, Sophia Phoenix Morales smiled one last time. She died at 11:47 p.m., surrounded by the sound of freedom, wrapped in the love of 43 brothers who chose her. We buried her 4 days later. The funeral was attended by 312 bikers from 21 different motorcycle clubs across 3 states. Word had spread through the Brotherhood about the 9-year-old wolf. Her casket was custom-made by Wrench and Tiny Purple with silver flames, exactly like the motorcycle she'd never get to ride. We painted wolves running across the sides, a phoenix rising on the lid. She wore her Iron Wolves vest. She held Ice's father's dog tags and that broken plastic motorcycle. We surrounded her with every gift she'd received. The entire Iron Wolves MC carried her casket. 43 pallbearers, walking in formation. I gave the eulogy, though I barely made it through. Sophia Phoenix Morales lived 9 years. Most people would say that's not enough time to matter. That 9 years is too short to make a difference. Those people never met Sophia. My voice broke. She taught 43 hardened bikers what unconditional love looks like. She showed us that family isn't blood, it's who shows up, who stays, who chooses you. She chose us, and we chose her back, and that choice changed everything. We released sky lanterns, 312 of them, rising into the twilight sky like stars being born. Sophia's mother never showed up, but Sophia's family, her real family, was there. Every single one of us. Epilogue. The Iron Wolves MC started the Phoenix Foundation 6 weeks after Sophia's death. We visit children's hospitals across California. We bring gifts, tell stories, give road names. We make sure no child dies alone. We've visited 173 children so far. We've given out 173 patches, 173 road names. Some kids survived, some didn't, but every single one of them knew they mattered, knew someone chose them, knew they had family, because that's what Sophia taught us. That's her legacy. We ride for Phoenix now, for all the kids who need someone to show up, and we'll keep riding until every child knows they're loved. Once a wolf, always a wolf. Rest in power, Phoenix. Your pack is still howling,